Hey guys, amigos. Okay, so here I am with the Incredible Hulk from ECC, Elite Creature Collectibles. And again, as I said, como dije la otra vez, this is amazing. Es increíble. There really is nothing you need to change. No es necesario cambiarle nada. But yes, I'm crazy. I want to see if I can put glass eyes in there, so I'm going to risk this guy because it's very difficult to find 1/3 scale glass eyes. I've done it in cinema kits, but some don't work and some do. Es difícil encontrar ojos de vidrio para este tamaño. I did find some, and the only ones I was able to find were the 10 millimeters, the 10 milímetros, and only because I base it on the size of the iris. Lo baso al tamaño del iris. And since it's like that, they're smaller on the white part of the eye. So that's going to be the tricky part. Están un poco más chicos. From corner to corner on this eye, it's about ½ an inch. Es como media pulgada de una esquina al otro. This one is 1/8 of an inch, a little bit longer. These guys here will only cover, well, they're about 1/8 inch short. But the iris is perfect. If I were to get the bigger ones, si agarro ojos más grandes, they would cover the whole white area, but the iris would be too big. And that won't work at all. So I'm gonna figure something out and see what happens. Vamos a ver qué pasa y entonces vamos a ver. So now let's cut into them. So the way to get in here is behind the head. Vamos a tratar de hacer el hueco atrás de la cabeza. Entonces vamos a pelar la peluca. We're going to peel the wig away. And hopefully it's not that thick inside. If it's too thick, si está muy grueso, I may not be able to get in there to carve out the eyes. Y no voy a poder quitarle los ojos de estos. So then I'll call it quits. But we'll see what happens. Let's get going. Okay, so first what we're going to do, lo que vamos a hacer, is not take the whole wig off. No vamos a quitarle toda la peluca. I've already loosened it up. It's actually a net, es una red, and every hair is tied in one at a time, so it's amazing work. So what we want to do is try not to rip it and unglue it. Y vamos a despegarla. A ver si no se rompe. Whoa. Kind of reminds me when I used to put my hairpiece in front of my head. But no more, thank God. Me acuerdo cuando me pegaba yo pedazos de pelo en mi frente, pero gracias a Dios ya no. Okay, so I marked it where I'm going to Dremel. Ya le marqué donde lo voy a cortar. Interesting. Okay, everybody, this was a surprise. It is not hollow. It's nice and thick. This guy, very thick, good thickness, es bastante grueso, but it's filled with expanding foam. I mean, I have to say, and give credit again to ECC. This is awesome. You know, this is awesome. This protects the whole statue by being filled with this stuff. So it's great. Es increíble porque esto ayuda a proteger la estatua cuando se envía. Ya no está hueco del completo. But of course it has created a challenge for me now because I have to take all this out. Ahora es un poco más difícil para mí porque tengo que quitar todo esto y escarbarlo. So here we go. Okay guys, so here it is. Aquí está. This is where the eyes are, right there. So it is thick. But to be able to get there and grind this para poder hacerle aquí, I'm actually now have to drill the eyeballs out. And once I do that, that's it. You know, it either works or I fuck it up. Okay, vamos a arreglarlo, pero tengo que ahora sí chingar los ojos. Y si no resulta, entonces sí, ya lo chingué. Alright. Let's get to it. Alright guys, here we go. Here vamos. Oh man. Okay, I'm just gonna continue working on the eyes. Okay, what we're doing here is we're thinning out the inside so the eye can go flush to where it should be. Lo que estamos haciendo aquí es quitándole lo grueso de atrás para que el ojo pueda estar muy cerca a donde debe ir. Alright, so here he is with no eyeballs. Aquí está sin ojos. Now we're going to get the the epoxy putty. Vamos a agarrar la pasta, equal amounts, and see if we can put the eyes in there. Vamos a ver si podemos poner los ojos adentro. Alright, so we have the putty here. Ya tenemos la pasta. Put the eye on here. Okay, so the way the eyes were shaped did not allow me to push the eye upward. No me dejó poner el ojo hacia más arriba. I would need to grind more of the inside, but then I would go right through all these areas. Si le escarbo más por adentro, por todo aquí se puede caer. So that's the best I can for his look. I can't get it up looking upward the way it was. But, you know, it's cool. I mean, it's not bad. They look very cool. Se ven, you know, bien padres. And I'm just aligning them. So, there you go. Now we're going to cover up the back of the head. And then we'll just add some more color in the eyes when they're dry. Luego le aumentamos más color en los ojos. Rojito y todo. You know, like some red stuff in there. Once it's dry. To put the skull back, the back part of it, para ponerle esto, see, and I'm going to create, you know, it's something to just hold it in place. When that hardens, then I'll do the rest to cover up the areas I cut open. There we go. So we'll let that harden, then we'll add more putty around these areas. And there it is. Y cuando se seque eso le ponemos más pasta y luego ya se le pega el pelo de nuevo. Okay, so I'm just going to finish up the putty. This is nice and hard and it's on there tight, but let's just smooth this guy out so we can put the wig back on. Nada más vamos a emparejar este hueco todavía. Okay, all this is nice and hard. No need to smooth this out because the wig's going to cover it up. No es necesario arreglar todo esto así, todo suavecito, ya que todo más se va a tapar con la peluca. So we just add some crazy glue, cola loca. Okay, so there it is. The hair is back. El pelo ya está como si nada pasó, like nothing ever happened. Now again, like I said from the beginning, como dije al principio, these eyes were a little different than what I could, you know, well, the glass stick eyes were nice and round, but I try to Dremel out as close as possible to get that roundness from the inside so I can really push them in. But I couldn't do any more because I would run the risk. I mean, this is very thin right in there. I would have ran the risk of just going right through the whole thing. Same with here. O sea, tomé el riesgo a que esto ya está muy delgadito, así que no pude quitarle más por dentro para empujarlos más. So you have very little thin gaps way in there and way in there, which kind of sucks because the white area should be touching back here, but it doesn't because of the size of the eye. But you know, once painted, I have a little pinkish in there, a little greenish. It should be pretty good. Look more, not so white. And then we're done. Y le voy a poner un poquito de rojo por aquí, en las orillas, y ya terminamos. We're going to go in with the little pinkish, reddish. Okay guys, so the eyes are done, ya están los ojos. So what I'm going to do is, he's a little dusty, even though I wiped them down, you still see a little, you know, little powdery stuff in there. So I'm just going to seal them completely with matte finish. Vamos a sellarlo completamente con esto, para que se le quite un poco lo cenizo. Alright guys, so here he is, aquí está. I'm liking it, you know. Well, let me get some light in here. Added a little bit more reddish maybe than normal, but you know, I want him to look like he's really pissed. Le puse un poquito más de rojo en las orillas para que sea más enojado. Alright guys, so let's put him back where he goes, and he is done. Ya está listo, vamos a ponerlo donde va.